Should be going live here in a second. Alright, it's live. We are live. Welcome to Saturday Morning Harpoons, which hopefully I can maintain this at least every 2 to 3 weeks. I think is about what I can probably do. Let's see, where were we when we left off? That's what I wanted to look up. No, so one of the suggestions from last time, I think I can't remember who was watching. It might have been Dylan. Was to use the speed leaders, which I think does help a great deal. As you can see here, you can see a little bit more readily how folks are headed. Can you see my screen okay? Oh,
No.
awesome.
I was about to say something about that.
So,
Unless I forgot how to find it. Didn't we use the lead? Is the leader, speed leader, just sort of the sense of where things are going in the
right,
next move? Okay.
right. But the
Um,
one thing I hadn't even realized, and it makes, of course, sense, is that it actually is the length that it would go physically. I hadn't realized that right off the bat when I first did
yeah.
it. I thought it was just a directional, but it actually is the speed. Cause so you can so the missiles and so forth. You can actually see how far the missile is going to go in the next increment
hmm
as well.
Yeah. I mean,
For
that
example,
definitely
this
is
this
useful.
missile is no longer. Can you see my screen?
Yep. Yep.
Um, what was I going to say? So this inbound salvo, which is no longer there, of course, it's still, as you can see, that's where it would be if it went another increment. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of that because that's no longer there. Make sure I don't delete
Yeah. Did we
destroy.
notate the I mean, I know we figured out the damage, but that was, I feel like, kind of where we left off was sort
Yeah,
of,
remember uh, you're driving the kid, right? You're
yes.
captain. Yeah, I thought you took one. You took several. Let me go look if I.
Oh, right. There's that spreadsheet where we
Yeah, I
notated it.
think so. Yep.
Let's see
Thank you.
here.
I'll get it. So, oh, let's see. I think I probably put it here. You're right, because I remember we. There we go.
Okay, got it up too.
So your helo was destroyed off your pad. You had 3 fires at 14% DP after 3 tacticals, 14% on fire ratings, major max of 16 knots, speed from engineering hit, bridge out of commission for 1 tactical. So I'm assuming, and we can go look that up.
Hopefully that makes sense. I think I typed that.
No, it does. And then your order though was to fire. Okay, so that
Yeah, I was curious if
probably
those got
will.
off.
It probably. Let me go see. This was for 1521. 1521. 1521. Nowhere.
I mean, you can see the impact was 1522.5
Right.
for the
So
helo.
it
So
probably.
don't they
It
launch at the
will.
end?
It will. Um, I think that's what we you had plotted it to go, but the plotting was after movement, so the movement actually occurs on this turn. You're firing, so right now what we have is we would have. Let's see, that would actually be at the 521 mark. Let me think about that. This was last turn's plotting though.
Well, at some point we went into 30-second increments after we had plotted the 1521
That
turn,
was
if I
because
recall.
I basically had fired the previous turn. I had, I had fired a turn ahead of you if you were a, a tactical ahead of you, right? And then within that same within the tactical, mine moved, but yours is basically firing, right? You did your command to fire, so your harpoons would move this tactical, right? That's the best way to do it at this
Well,
point.
when you say this tactical, is it within the 30-second increment now,
No,
or
it would see. See, that's where
it gets a little muddy? I
if you
think.
wanted to get brutally granular, you could do it that way.
Hmm.
But the way I've been doing it, and people can tell me one way or the other, I just don't want to be that granular, honestly.
Hmm.
So let's see. So
So
if
do the
we,
harpoons actually get off the ship, so to speak, at
yeah,
1524?
correct,
Okay.
correct. So they're going to start moving on 1524. So you plotted. I mean, it's all kind of it's all relative. It would be a little bit mind numbing, honestly, if we went to that granularity. So what yours is going to do is yours is going to move from 1524 to. So you've plotted it and you've fired it, but they don't move until this turn, which is 1524 to 15. Was it 27? Let's get this going, and then we'll let you all plot. So your harpoons took off during this. They were planned. They were planned during this, right?
Yep.
But they will move here. I don't know why I particularly put yours as a different color, but okay.
I
So
just was trying to isolate it
that's
so
fine.
that
That's fine.
two
If you
two
want
are
to,
one class, and well, just the idea of like, okay, two are the Oliver Hazard
yep.
Perry, and the kid is.
All right. So I'm gonna get out of here so I don't see it. Hold on one second before you do that. So you were at 100. Let me just make sure I have you proper. So 100. You're on 4 harpoons. You're 115. Let me just make sure you're 115. Let me put your 4 harpoons out here. And we're going to get us up to 1524 before we do this. Just again, not wholly realistic. But we're going to get us up to. This is where we're at, right? We're at 1524, right?
So how are you notating that damage on the PDF? Is that something you're doing, or I need to do, or?
We can keep that in our head. We know that you took, I can't remember the exact amount. You took one hit from an inbound missile from the Sovremny, right? Let me go check that damage again. And we probably need to put that here. What was the immediate damage on that? Give
Because
me 1 second. I think we kept the
damage is
sheets up
definitely
here.
something I don't know as well.
Michael, are you here?
Maybe mute it.
Make sure that I don't know where I put these ships. I had these ships all sitting somewhere. Hold on a second.
Yeah, we might.
There we go.
I feel like I mentioned it, but we could make a drive where we're editing the same PDF. I assume
Yeah,
it's
but
like a.
yeah, but we can just mark the damage on like we're doing here because it's a little bit difficult to mark all those criticals on the sheet, honestly.
Okay, yeah, that's something. I think my brain was fried by that point in the morning, and
Okay, so
I was
here's the
like
kid. So
kind of
I
hanging
know
on.
you took one of the Seremnes. Give me 1 second. This, come on. And that was a. Still kind of waking up. A musket.
Michael, I feel like I just heard some sound from you.
Yeah, you took
Now
52 points of damage.
he's muted.
Here you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There we go. Yep. Cool.
Mike had a problem.
Hold on a
Okay.
second.
I've been sitting here listening to y'all.
So you were at 286 minus 286 minus 52.
34.
I'm sorry, say it again. I just lost
286 minus 52 is 234.
Yeah, that's what I
If
thought.
that's what you were doing.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Um,
my Saturday morning math is not going to be very good,
yeah.
everybody. All right, so keep me going. All right, so that's
So
I'm just
so
putting that there, and then what you're going to do is this is one tactical,
well,
and
hang on. You put 134. Is there a reason you put 134, or was that just a typo?
I'm sorry, what had you said?
I thought you said it was 286
Yes, I'm
minus.
sorry. You're correct.
Okay. I just want to be sure I'm not missing some
Sorry.
step.
Nope.
Um,
So you're here, but you're gonna take 14% DP after 3 tacticals because of the fires, unless we get rid of them. And you're at a major rate of fire. And remember also your max. Let's put that up here.
so with the
For crits.
when it's 3 fires after 14% after 3 tacticals, is that are we back to 3-minute tacticals or 30-second tacticals?
We're on 3-minute tacticals.
Back to okay.
Yeah, until you fire, which you're firing now, which we just have to get. We just have to get our movement for this tactical, and then let's see. Your harpoons are about to move. So you just need to plot your turn right now, and then we're gonna take care of your harpoons. Okay, basically, right? That's how we do this. So you need to. So all 3 of the ships need to plan their tactical, and then pretty much immediately we're gonna start handling your harpoons.
Okay. Should I put a note down here? End of fire turns, something like that. Like,
where did the turn column go? I thought.
well, I just added 3 more rows or 2 more rows.
Something just happened to the. What happened to the? There was an A column. Where did it end up?
Did you just
See that?
scroll over? Or?
It doesn't. Oh, there it is. Good gravy. That did not look right, did it? That's kind of
so
weird.
I'm just
Okay, I just didn't
so
realize it was like that. Okay.
I didn't know if that would help. Where I put end of fire, like that point is where the damage is inflicted.
Yeah, that's
as
cool.
a reminder.
This is the first 1, 2, 3. Yep.
Do we have the link to that document again?
This one. Yep.
Or the one we can update?
I'll post it in the. Whoops! I think I posted it in resources. Let me delete that.
Yeah, I can put it in. I got it. I paused that piece.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's that one, and then I have a different sheet that I'm going to be working off of when we talk about as things go here in a minute. All right, so let me look away while you plot, and just plot the next tactical of your ship's condition, right? This is basically your orders for the next 3 minutes for the ship itself, but then we're going to stop immediately and start incrementing with the 30 seconds of the harpoons.
Okay.
All right, so I'm not looking.
So are we? Peter, do you mind showing the sim plot on your screen?
Sorry.
No worries.
And I will also just give you the visual of what you actually know. So you only have detected the medium size destroyer, the Serenity.
So here's the big question then. I fired my harpoons and they came off the what would it be, starboard side?
I tell you.
So do I have to turn, like, Michael, should I turn? Should we all turn so that I can be in position to fire the other 4?
How did we determine that? We did determine. Oh, that's what we did.
I think we had said something about, like, and you had implied you just kind of let me do a quick turn, but it seems like the kind of thing that.
Yeah, but here's how we'll do that. Here's how we'll do that, and here's kind of how what I would do is basically let you lose an increment. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how. So let's just think about this. How long would it take you to turn and fire again? I think it would be probably at least 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I tuned out of the book, where it was like turning and stuff.
I mean, I feel like that. I feel like 30. Let me think about it.
Let's change course into about 170.
Right.
Bring your other side to bear.
So you agree that that's what we should? Do you want to all do that then, Michael?
Well, don't tell me, but it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna be moving towards you anyway. It's pretty stupid AI here. You know what we need to check before you even do this, though, is let's recheck these ranges real quick, because you have slightly new ranges now to the smalls. And let's go to a sheet I've created for this scenario. Give me 1 second. I don't think I put it here. I think I might have put it over in the pining. Okay. So I started to do so instead of us kind of clamoring through a bunch of the radar circles and trying to depict both the physical range and the ducts and all this stuff, what I've done is made myself a cheat sheet here, and we're gonna look back through this real quick. So
The circles look cool.
yeah, it looks cool. We can put one. We can add one on whatever you want visualized, but it was throwing people off to see the radar range versus the one to use. Okay, so you are the. Let's take it from the kid and see if you can see the frigates now. So kid, right here. Why do I not have? Okay, so you are here. This is the with the duct.
And you made this for
No,
this
I'm sorry.
scenario?
That's right. This guy. The problem is that the. Yes, and I think we might have made a mistake last time because watch this.
Yeah, I thought we were out to like 40 or something.
Yeah, right. But no. That. So here's the thing. Your kid is a medium, right? And it does not get to use the duct, and that's something we did wrong last time. I'm gonna still. This is the problem because I don't know if you're actually able to fire on me, right? Unless you're gonna use the.
So, someone else is in the channel and it's very loud. I don't.
Hey, Mike, can you mute yourself? Mike H.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, I didn't know.
Okay. I remember there was something big I wanted to talk about, and it was this, okay? And this is so I'm going to describe the mistake I made, right?
Okay.
The mistake
Yeah, that
was
would
the
be good.
fact that we let you use the duct. The duct, if you recall, is right here. It's described. The evaporative duct was present for very small or small units. The only medium units that can take advantage of a duct that's of this type would be a Soviet with an SST, right? So you are
Okay.
a kid class. You
Yep.
are medium. So this, unfortunately, is the radar range, right? Without evaporative duct. Okay.
So where's that in the rule book? Just so I can.
Yep, I can do that. That's cool.
Just always trying to go back to that.
That's fine.
It also depends on the evaporative duct. The one you rolled was just for small and very small, but you can get some for medium-sized observers.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Sometimes the duct does work for mediums.
Yes, but only if they have systems that are designed for that.
No, I mean, no, look at the duct table in the rules. I mean, actually, U.S. there's a column for it.
Right.
What
If
page?
it's allowed. Yes. If the duct is.
If the duct allows it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah,
got to
I'm
roll.
sorry, I'm
It's a
sorry.
pretty small percentage, but you have to roll to get it.
Yeah. Right.
Where's the chart with the roll, Michael?
That is. Oh, I think it's more scenario. I was looking for that the other day. Honestly. Give me 1 second. Here is.
I'm just constantly trying to like build a
That's
familiarity
fine.
with the
I
rules.
might need to take me a minute here. I believe it's by the scenario.
Evaporative duct height 5.5. Is that
Yes, that's probably what it is.
okay?
Yeah, there you go.
So I don't even
See
remember
that right
re-rolling it, but yeah.
So that's
So
why-
you
that's
rolled a percentile
Yeah,
at some point?
originally when I determined the scenario information, and as you can see, you have to get above 81 to get for that.
Okay.
And then I think it's by season, really kind of determines whether it's there at all, right? I think there's right here, and weather right here as well, right?
So wind, like colder weather and wind affects the
Right,
evaporative duct
exactly.
height. Okay.
And I think it's also seasonal, but I don't think that I think there's some seasonal modifications too, but I don't know if it's depicted here or it is, or I can't remember where. So whatever.
So did you roll that when we were starting, or was that something you rolled on to
design.
prep?
It was just the scenario design.
Okay.
Really.
Okay, cool. I just didn't
More
remember
often,
the-
so just by looking at that chart, though, more often than not, it's only going to be available for the
Small and very small.
Now let's retroactively kind of fix what we did then. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see if you can still fire. You just might have a worse resolution. And the only way to do that would be potentially, I can't remember.
Going active or something?
Yes, and I can't. Everybody is active, right? Let's go look. Everybody is active at this point. You see that? Because I
Yep.
fired, everybody went active. I believe that was the case. And I'm assuming that everybody stays active. Now, with that in mind, I believe you can probably get a fair by getting the target over data link from Taylor. Do you still want to fire?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to change that. I mean, if we already
Yeah,
did it,
but we'll
let's
give
just,
you a fair, and that's even just a kind of like, that's a poor man's data link ruling. There's going to be some new rulings coming out in the sit rep, by the way. It cleans up data links quite considerably. In effect, if you get a data link off an active radar from another unit, and you're of the certain type that near real time, you can get one less than the person relaying the information to you. Okay, this will be explained in the sit rep. Buy it; it's very good. I've seen it.
Yeah,
Anyone when that's coming out?
It's soon. I'll just say that.
I love that you, I love that you like are giving these little teasers. I mean,
And no,
it's
I
good
have not been
salesmanship,
told
but
to. No, I've seen it, and it's extremely good, and it's a double issue, and it should be out relatively soon. I imagine by the end of the month. Don't quote me on that, but it's in its absolute last editing. All right. So a little sneak peek of that though is that if you are active, you can pass that at one level less. Let's see. And there's a little bit more to that. You just got to read that article. So do you want to still do that? So we're still going to fire, but we'll give you a fair resolution instead of a good. Okay. Now what we were trying to do was determine. Okay, so you do not have that active. Which one was yours, Michael? This one?
he was controlling both of the
I was
parries.
both of them.
Okay, I can help if you get overwhelmed at all. All right, so you are seeing that, right? And what we never asked was whether or not you wanted to fire, and you didn't know.
No, I did not fire yet because I wanted one turn to get my
Good.
fire solution better. One turn, one better.
So at that point, he could not have fired yet then, right? Or it would have been.
Oh no, my both my ships see that you're two left ships. It's one on the right. I'm out of range.
You know what? This guy went active too. That's probably why you also had a passive detection. So you have a passive detection. If you wanted to do a passive, and you've had it for 2 turns. This is the second turn of a passive. You could do a passive fire, but you were active, and then he wants to get your better solution. It's still going to be fair.
So that contact track row is what you're talking about, Michael? Like it gradually moves up the longer you have contact?
Yeah, basically one better each turn.
So are we in this new turn, you're at 1 then? Or are you considered 2?
You start
You
your
start at
tracking
0?
at 0. Yeah.
Okay. So you're at just 1, and you're now moving from fair to good. Okay, cool.
Yes,
Sorry, just trying to
exactly.
follow
No,
along on the
that's
paper.
All right, so
so-
technically, hold on. So let's kind of retroactive that. If you were to fire now, you actually have poor, right? And I'll let you hold off just due to my error last time if you want. If you want to hold back 1, you'll end up with a fair.
So what are like the percentage chance differences?
Okay, so
'Cause I'm feeling like I'm getting.
poor is 30%, fair is 60%, and we can show that in the rules.
it,
Hold on, I'll show you where that is. That would be. Yeah,
I'm on 6-2,
yeah.
but I don't know that. Michael,
Where's
do you think I should wait?
actually
I
that's on
assume you would
eight.
say wait.
I would wait till this coming tactical turn, and I'm going to salvo off my stuff too. So we have
Here
all
it
three
is
of
right
us
here.
on fire.
So the difference is a 30% chance of being on target, if you will.
Yeah.
There's still a chance that you might hit one of the other ships, and then you get a 60% chance being on target or placed on target.
Okay.
But
So right,
even with that, you probably have a reasonable chance of it veering and hitting this unit potentially.
I love that you're trying to persuade me.
No, I
um,
don't. I mean, if you don't want to fire, that's fine. You can wait. I'll let you hold
well,
off.
the only reason I feel like beyond the odds is I only have 8 of these, right?
Correct. And yeah,
So
and that's what I was playing around with. I don't know if you noticed, I only fired 4. I think I have a
yeah.
similar amount. And honestly, because I just didn't know if I could probably take you out or at least damage you enough to have some more to lay over. Because my other guys, well, you don't know what type they are, but they're not. They don't have a very good range. So
Okay, so I'll wait. So I'm pulling that out of that cell,
that's
and
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
so Michael, you already put in your course.
I've not finished it, but yeah, but yes.
So 170 is you're turning a little more direct.
No, it's wrong. It's supposed to be 260.
Okay.
Which one?
So why are you turning that way? Like the only reason I wanted to turn was to access my other harpoons. Was
So
there a reason why you thought
so
turning made sense?
here's my thing about the plotting and all that. Okay. So if you need to turn to fire like that, let's just it's really where you're going to end up right at the end of the turn. If how do I put this? I'm going to let you fire both your broadside, right? But there will be a delay in when the other side fires, right? And there would be some speed change relative, right? Because you're basically zigzagging for a minute out of the 3 minutes. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Right? And we can kind of roughly do this. I'm okay to be a little rough on this. It's okay because we're all just kind of agreeing to all this, right? So in other words, if what is this? The Nicholas had to fire, turn and fire, they can end up going whatever direction they want. But what we'll do is we'll reduce their speed to make up for it by about
See,
20.
I changed just so you could undo your clear your batteries. But okay, I'll keep in my same
Say that
course.
again. I'm sorry. You're gonna keep your same relative
Yeah.
course at this point. But what we'll do is we'll just probably what's the math on that? Probably reduce it by 5 knots just for the fact that you're doing that little jink, right? Does everybody agree to that?
For the kid.
Well,
For this Nicholas doing that, and then this one
Oh,
probably
Nicholas
won't.
doesn't have. Nicholas, his batteries are free. He's clear to fire everything.
Okay, but it's just for the OH parries that have this problem. Okay.
The kid has a problem. That's the only one.
This is the kid here. So that's a destroyer. You're saying he doesn't have a battery problem. I thought that's what he
The
just said.
kid does have the battery problem. He can fire port or starboard. The parries, they fire forward.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just put it down to like 12 knots. Where,
well,
where are you?
can I pause and talk strategy before we get into like the nuts and bolts?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, well, which one's the Nicholas, by the way? The one in the back?
This one is, at least that's how I have it
Okay,
originally.
thank you.
Wasn't there a way you had the labels? Is it text tags layer?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So, Michael, the only reason you wanted to turn 260 was to free up my other side, and now you're like cool to go back to sort of on course.
Yeah,
Is that
if he lets
okay?
us fire both, I'll leave it the same course.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to be sure that there wasn't some other thinking in why you were wanting to turn, or if it was just kind of for my sake.
Yeah, so the only thing
Uh,
to take into account is that he's going to end up kind of needing to go slower, if you will, for at least a tactical turn. right?
Under the assumption that I'm firing both sides
Correct.
of my
If
harpoons.
you want
Okay.
to.
What do you think about that, Michael? I mean,
That's
I don't
fine.
want to kind of
Is that fair
necessarily
to
dump them
everybody?
all, but
Is that fair
if
to everybody?
yeah, I mean, if I haven't committed to firing all, I guess is so I don't want to jump to that too quickly. I mean, what's the naval kind of strategy? If you all know more about that, like, would I just unload while I have time before I'm like sunk? I mean,
Well,
is
you've
that
already
kind of
been
like
hit.
There's no reserves here. I mean, if you don't
Yeah.
use them, you're going to lose them.
Especially considering you've been hit.
okay? Yeah, that I mean that was
would be probably the clincher.
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to be sure.
Another thing to keep in mind, though, you don't have tactical control over your ship for a turn. If you remember, right here, your bridge was out of course for one tactical turn.
So does that mean I have to stay on course regardless?
I think so. So you're probably the question is moot, but
yeah. Okay. So can I even fire my harpoons then?
that's a very good question. I think you had already planned it though. So my assumption is that basically, like you were hinting at in the beginning, you've fired it. You've hit the buttons, right? Your bridge is out of commission, but
Yeah, I think the bridge is just heading and stuff. The CIC would be the
right,
harpoon
exactly.
firing.
I think you've given
Right.
given the command. It's opened up and
Okay.
okay.
So I can still fire because that's CIC.
Right.
I forgot
So
about
just
that
to kind of
difference.
meet halfway on everything, you can fire immediately. Your harpoons are going to start moving right after we're done with this planning, and I'll give you a fair resolution.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and fire all 8 then. Can I do 4 on one
no,
target?
We can't turn, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
All right. So hold on. Let me go ahead and are you done plotting for at least the next tactical? Everybody, for all 3.
Well, so I have to maintain course, but my speed, does that slow down due to damage because it says max of 16 knots?
Well,
Yep.
yes, that would be
Okay.
immediate, pretty much.
Okay. So
And then, of course, I'm going to take a couple. Well, you're not turning, so no, you're good.
Yeah.
So.
This is great. It's so granular.
And again,
okay.
we kind of glossed over a few things there with the fair resolution, but it's all right. That was my fault originally. All right, so
and that was purely because I'm not in the evaporative duct.
correct.
Or I
So
don't
I'm kind of
benefit
glad
from
I
it.
made the mistake, just from an educational perspective.
Yeah, totally.
So sorry. So sorry, but not sorry. No.
Yeah. No, it's all about learning.
All right. So
Michael, I don't know. I mean, it seems like you know the rules better than me, certainly. Do you know in chapter 14 where, like, explanations of the damage are? Oh, effects of other critical hits, maybe 14.5. Bridge. Yep. Okay.
I'm assuming it doesn't say everything you planned before is no longer happening, but I wouldn't think it would.
Well, I can read it out. It's on 14-8. The main conning station has suffered a catastrophic hit. Or this is a critical hit, so maybe is that different, or is that what I suffered?
Where are you? Okay, on the main card.
It's page 14-8, section 14.5.
I think we rolled for it one turn.
It's an effect of other critical hits. I just want to be sure because that seems like something where you sort of.
Hold on a second. Where does it say the other critical? No, we already took care of the. I think we took care of the fire. I think the only thing I don't know if we computed was. I think I did.
Oh, we have a couple tactical turns for the fire too, though, before it even does anything.
Right. I think we had already taken that into account, and it had added to the 14% overall, and him being a major. And I do believe I rolled this for how many tactical turns. I think it ended up being 1. So I think it's just one turn out of control. If the ship is fitted with that feature, it's lost.
So this says after the casualty has been corrected, all changes to course and speed take 2 tactical turns to execute.
Yeah, I see that too. It's also under repairs. It mentioned it also under 14.6.
Page 14.6.
It mentioned when you're repairing it, but it also says 2 tactical turns are needed to change course, and the aircraft land launch rate is halved.
Let me make a note of that.
Now, sorry, Michael, is it page 14.6 or section
Se-
14.6?
section section when I always reference
Repairs.
sections.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Um, okay, it's on there now.
So I think we already took care of the fire. We took care of the tactical. I just didn't read the sentence, which was sitting right in front of me. Yeah. Okay. So I took
Yeah,
them
I
eight.
just feel like we sort of zipped through the damage, and I'm just worried we missed something. So that's why I'm trying to kind
Oh, we probably missed something. There's so much
of,
here.
yeah. Well, and that's cool. Like Peter said, I mean, making mistakes is part of it. But I just felt like, wow, a big hit to the bridge seems like it should be more than just sort of not being able to do something.
Yeah. The one thing I had not remembered was the course is taking 2 turns basically to execute. That's interesting.
So does that mean I'm basically stuck moving in this direction,
For
not
at
even just this
least
turn, but the next turn?
probably 2 beyond that, right? Because even if you tried to
Okay.
plot them, if you plot a change, it would be really the third, right? It would be boom, boom. You know, take like so. So within a turn, you regain control, but then it's saying it's going to take 2. If you course change, it'll actually not happen until the third, if you will.
Yeah, they can be over before you can really get control of your bridge again, basically.
Right.
So I'm
But you
putting
were able to fire. I'm going to rule that you were able to fire.
well, and I think Michael's point about the CIC being separate from the bridge, like I totally spaced on that. So I put on a spreadsheet 1530 is when I'll actually be free to make a different course change
I think that's right. I think that's fair.
because 1524 and 1527 I'm stuck. Those are the 2 turns.
Sounds about right. And let me go make
Okay.
sure that I do all this other stuff. Keep me honest, Michael K. As far as all these levels. Okay, so you are changing. So the Nicholas is changing to 25, 125. He's already 20 to 20. All right, all right. So then the Taylor is 110, 10. Oop. All right, he's changing to 10. Is that correct?
Yes, he's slowing down. I'm trying to close the formation up.
And the kid is 10, 16. Previously you were 15, so I'm going to say you're staying at 15.
Wait,
Let's go.
oh yeah, I guess so. Sorry, I just saw max speed 16. So yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
you're already there. So
I just assumed it slowed me down. Okay, cool.
yeah, I couldn't even remember how fast you were going. All right, so then
It's a good thing we got a spreadsheet.
yeah, on it, absolutely.
Well, do I got to plot weapon launches also?
If you plan to do it during, let's see, what are we plotting here? No, wait a minute. Why did this get? This you did back here, correct? This was your planning, Connor?
Well, I thought you had given me the out to wait a turn. Are we now back at this retroactive? Like I can't fire?
Yeah, I'm retroactively letting you fire when you originally fired, and I'm giving you a fair. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I kind of
Well,
met you. I met you halfway based on my mistake. So
okay.
this-
Well, I mean,
this-
that's up to you. I don't mind having to wait.
It's all right. Remember, there was so much time difference that was kind of finagled there too. You definitely would have been able to fire it. It's okay. All right. So this is going to allow. Why don't we just say Harpoons moves? Something like
Michael, do you have you picked up the center ship?
I have both ships on the left. The only ship I don't have is the right one.
I tell you what, though, they're not active. So let's.
Oh, they're not active, but I
you
am
are
active, and I can still see them.
So let's go check that. I think you can. Absolutely, I think you can. But let's see.
My range is 50 miles.
50. So you definitely get this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Visible. You don't have the heading and speed yet.
So roughly how? I mean, if you all, since you all know the rules better, roughly how much more range do you have in detection when you go active? Is it like kind of double, roughly? I mean, it seems like we're at about
not
double.
necessarily. Here, let's go take a look
Passive.
at that. Passive
is actually much more,
right,
much longer ranged.
Right here. You see these modifiers right here. So what you would do is you would take what you normally would have as a radar line of sight, and then you would multiply it by these, and I put those multipliers here for our sake.
So going active is only times like 1.2, 1.3?
No,
yes, but it gives you a better fire control solution.
This is ES. This is for passive right here. These modifiers are for passive detection. So like,
Okay.
so for example, with your duct from the Taylor has a really good bonus from this. I think this was generational difference, by the way, 1.2 versus 1.3 for ES. And so, for example, against a small, if my Cravox were active and you were picking it up, you would get it at 50 times 1.2. For you, for versus those smalls would be 21 times 1.3 for passive detection. So the real nice thing is if you had evaporative duct passive detections, and once you hopefully you can get your hands on that sit rep. They as
Hopefully everyone can, because I've heard it's fantastic. Don't take my
good.
word for it. Listen to Peter.
But there's a really cool thing you can do where two passive units with SST can there's some interesting things you can do. You can basically almost over the horizon get a good resolution. It's very interesting with passive. But
SSTs are those only the Soviets have SSTs?
I think the Chinese do too. I think there's a model of the Chinese radar system that has it too.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to order the early sit reps that are like bundled.
Yeah.
On Wargame Vault, and then just start gradually
acquiring.
Bundled? Yeah, there's like a best of GDW sit rep, like so it takes like 15 issues or something, and I guess it's a pricier purchase, but
so
altogether.
Michael, let's talk about that again though. You definitely can see the these are what you have to do is you have to take into account the maximum ranges of the SPS 55, right? So like the Taylor or that class, the OH Perry, going against a small, the maximum range though is 25, so you have to take the lower of the two. So you do not detect.
But I do have a no. The SPS 55 max range is 44 miles
Against a medium.
Against mediums, yeah.
This is a medium. Those others are small.
Okay, then all right. Then I only see the one then.
Yep.
Well, now we know.
Well, no, yeah. No, that's why I redid. That's absolutely why I redid this form, because it was just difficult to show all that on the fly when we first did it, and people were saying that I was showing the radar ranges when we really needed to get the computed combination like this. Does that make sense? This makes sense?
I think so. I think the radar.
The main thing is that you have to always use the smaller of the Annex J versus the line of sight. And then the way to really keep in your mind is that the ES adjusted, that becomes your radar line of sight. It's always your radar line of sight. It's just whether or not it's benefiting from the duct or not, right? That's the way at least for my brain. I'm trying to keep it in my brain. That your radar line of sight is either the depicted radar line of sight on that chart or the evaporative. It becomes it, right? Okay.
Chapter 5 is definitely going to just take a long time to sort of.
I had put in a bunch of stuff for the helicopters if we get them off at all.
So, Michael, how does that affect your orders then? I guess
I'm still same core stuff. I'm just going to salvo 2 Harpoons each at the only target I see.
Okay. So is the assumption, like going back to kind of more abstract discussion, from a tactical point of view or whatever the word would be, is the assumption there's no way this ship is alone, presumably? Like no ship is just out in the ocean alone, so it's got to be with something else. So you're not dumping everything, because just 10 minutes ago you were like, you might as well dump everything because there's no like holding back, but now you're holding back to some degree because the assumption is there's got to be something else out there.
And I also start thinking, since I only see one, I don't know they're out there, okay? So I'm holding back for that. And besides you firing and me firing, that's 8 Harpoons incoming to that ship.
Okay. Sorry, I just like to kind of zoom out back to like the more interesting part rather than the number crunching part.
They're both firing too as well. So boom, boom.
So, but if it goes, if worst comes to worst, fire everything you got, because if you think you're going to get hit, get rid of it.
And the other thing to take into account that is your.
And Michael, that's sort of. I don't know how much you read about this kind of stuff because again, I'm relatively like ignorant to this. Is that like official like U.S. Navy kind of mindset? Is like might as well if you're about to get hit, just dump it all,
From what
or is
I've
that
read,
just sort of like you as a gamer?
From what I read, kind of yeah, because there is no tactical reserve. If you're in middle of combat and you got missiles incoming, you can expect to lose a lot of your stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you also have supply ships nearby, somewhat.
So I'm rereading Red Storm Rising for the first time in like 30 years, and I'm just at that point where I guess the Ferris gets like nailed and has to go back to Norfolk, and so like it's been fun and kind of weird to reread like now that I'm not a little kid and I'm like picking up on different things, thinking about it from like the game point of view.
I remember there was a discussion about how to state bearing on the Facebook, and I remember there's a part in the Valkyrie attack, right? The Dance of the Vampires or whatever, Vampires, where they say that, and then there's the captain says, I want all bearings to be true, right? It's weird. I'll quote it later in the chat room, but it was interesting because we just had a conversation on the Facebook page about how to say bearing, right, relative to yourself or true, right? And
I think I remember that.
Yeah, in the chapter he had almost that exact same argument with himself. No, I want I want all the damn bearings as true, but he didn't really say it that way. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How active is the Facebook group? Because I deleted my Facebook, but it's like, oh, maybe I could just make sort of like an anonymous, friendless Facebook page.
That's what most people do. Anybody that ever tells me they don't have one, I say just use a mail that you don't use that often. And don't.
Is
have
it more active than the Discord, or?
Yeah, from a general communication perspective, sure.
You get the announcements, but there's not that many people talking on the community and messages and stuff at all.
So let's go ahead and start putting.
So you're doing 2 and 2. Should we, Peter? Do you want us to go ahead and start
right now? Oh, darn it! Yours are actually flying, so let's get those out there and start doing your thing.
Michael, I saw you plotted the next 2, but you changed the Taylor from 110 to 100.
Yeah, I've not plotted the second. Replotted the second one yet.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to think about turning because you said you have to fire from like what is it, the 4 or what? The front?
Forward arc. I can't fire my rear arc. And
so I didn't know
my guns are my phalanxes are rear only, so I have to stay pretty well broadside.
Okay.
Okay, now why did I have a problem with that? I thought I just did it. Okay. Could have sworn I just did the whole thing. Where the hell did it go? Has anybody seen that being weird to them? That's weird.
No, sorry, I was on a spreadsheet. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to drop the 2 harpoons in?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the harpoons on there. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong.
Okay, I'm watching now, so maybe I'll.
You know, playing this in the Cold War era years, you realize how powerful the Soviets actually were at the Navy. They had some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think our air forces were probably a multiplier better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it would have been very interesting. I think
They wouldn't have been a push. They wouldn't have been a pushover.
Let's see.
I love how we can like say that from a detached perspective now. Yeah, it would have been interesting from a. Millions of people dying.
This is
I was in the military in the middle of the Cold War. Yeah, I kind of.
Oof.
Yeah.
A little more real for you then.
Yep.
where the heck is it going?
Wait, can you
I'm
go
not able to
back
edit
to?
here.
Is it a visibility thing? Did you
Yeah,
assign
you're
it the
right,
blue
you're
side?
Right, you're right.
There we go.
Because they're
Okay.
damn neutral.
Is there a reason you made them neutral?
No.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter to me, but just didn't know if that would be an issue.
Make sure I don't have. Yeah.
I gotta find them all.
Alright, so there's 4 of them, and then we gotta fix the speed. Let's go look that up. Should have marked it on here. Anytime you gotta look something up, I'm gonna put it on the darn sheet. Alright, so speed of the Harpoon. Anybody know off the top of their head?
Just over 500. I don't know the
I think
exact
it is
number
5,
though.
right, but let me go ahead.
520 or something. 530.
Harpoon 561 is on the PDF.
Is it 561?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm on the kid PDF and it says 561.
If not mistakenly, make your shift go 561.
What is that min max column?
Ranges.
Is that like
That's
a
your-
multiplier of the range?
No, that's your minimum range you can fire at and max range of the weapon.
What is
So
the
minimum
max?
range 3, max range 75. Is that
Yeah.
That's it.
okay? I didn't know there's like a multiplier min. So okay, just the PDF formatting is just getting used to all this shit. And squad leader is it's just a big jumble in my brain now between the two games.
You play Advanced Squad Leader?
I'm trying. I had 2 sessions this week with a guy who's generous enough to kind of be working through things with me, and like some of it's coming back because I played squad leader a little bit here and there, but no more recently than 5 or 6 years. So
I used to play it all the time.
it's fun. And again, like what I like about it that I'm sad about Harpoon is like there's such a huge community, which is like a major selling point. And I like that this Harpoon Discord is here because like maybe we can build some interest. Because right now, like I'm so grateful to Peter for refereeing because like I have no like clue what the heck is going on to some degree, and like that we're all sort of trying to build an understanding is like huge. And if we just kind of keep spreading that love and keep trying to sell that sit rep, we'll get another 5, maybe another 5 people in the Discord.
Hey, that's.
But
5
I mean,
more players. That's 5 more targets.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way I look at it. That's 5 more
It's great. It's like again, I played this game when I was like 92, 93 when I was like very early teenager.
All right, so
It's just always kind of called to me.
this is where we get interesting. So we're 520.
So are we now moving to 30-second increments now that those harpoons are gone
Yes.
for your defense?
Yes.
Anyway.
So then I have to roll 2d6 for the Serenity to figure out the. Actually doing it old school. Actually rolling it.
So what are you rolling for? Talk it out
This
so I
is
can try to
for
follow.
We'll do it on the sheet here.
Is this your air defense?
8.1. 8-1. That's where we're gonna start. And we'll plot it out on the Excel sheet there.
So you're firing SAMs?
Yes, there will be. Alright, so let's do it one thing at a time. Detection range. During the detection phase, you should so I need to go look at the 3D and or LAS of the Serenity. And let me go look at that. Actually, it was right there. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay, so the Forgot M is the 3D. That's good. That's a good 3D. I'm telling you what, you were right before that. Mid to late 80s Soviets. Yeah. All right. So.
Give me something here, Peter.
So this is very small, though, right? The Harpoon. 27, not bad, right? Let's go ahead and put that on here. just for visualization. So
What's 27? You can pick me up
that's the
from 27
detection
miles.
range. Yeah.
And where did you get that on what page?
What the heck? That would be the. Give me one sec. What happened there? I'm like failing at Simplot horribly. I mean, circles. Why?
Well, remember, you're showing blue side only, so maybe the
Yeah,
red
that's it.
radar doesn't show.
All right, so we'll just do that for now because you're not plotting. All right. Again, this is the only one you see. 27 is the detection. So let me.
Is that from the ship chart, or is that somewhere in the main rules?
That was from the Soremni's sheet for the 3D right here.
Okay.
So what we're doing is we're looking for, you know, against a fighter, an inbound fighter, which is usually small, it would have been a 67 mile air detection inbound, right?
And how do you know it's 3D?
3D is the air search type. It's an air search type. It basically acts as an LAS or a air search.
So that's in detection range. It says each defending ship's player measures out the range for the ship's air search, 3D or HF. So because you don't have an HF, you just have to use a 3D.
Well,
Which
you usually have one or the other, right? And then some ships do not have a 3D, which makes it much more difficult for them. Like if you look at here,
I assumed HF was worse.
I think some don't have 3D, but right here you'll see. Sam's with iterator. And here's like an exception here with the 3D. So for some reason your 3D is knocked out, or you don't have one, or whatever. See this right here?
Yeah.
You can actually still fire within the 15 nautical mile range. So. Alright, so let's take it slow again. So we did a detection range, right? Everybody agrees I did that correctly?
Yeah.
Yep.
Detection. Move the missile in 30. This is where the 2D comes in. Move the missile until it reaches the radar detection marker. I think in this case it will probably be just a few increments. Okay. So we're.
Mount will show all units right here about we can see our missiles.
I think I have it on all.
Oh, okay.
So I just didn't add yours yet. I just didn't add your missiles.
Well, I think Michael's fire at the start of next turn. Correct. If it's the same as the kid.
They move at the start of next turn. I can put yours on there if you want and just make them not have.
No, it's fine. I missed that. All right, no problem.
All right, so let's do this. So boom. 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 All right. We are 15.25.5.
So, okay, great. Gosh, Simplot's so useful.
So, I mean, technically it was probably in between there. But then... So now...
So you just moved a few 30-second increments?
Correct.
Okay.
And every once in a while you got to adjust the... Make sure I adjust the bearing. Right now I probably should adjust the bearing. 172.3. Okay, it'll go a little bit off. That's still good. Alright. These guys are moving. 24 knots. 24 knots. Just make sure I still had... I just want to make sure I still had... Alright. So, we've reached the detection. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I went through a whole thing here. On a recent thing. This was from a different game. Alright. I'm going to use this again.
Did we do this reaction time step when I was firing on the muskets? It's been 2 weeks and I guess I just don't remember.
Yes, I had you roll. I had you roll 2D, or I rolled it. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Alright, so the detection range was 27 nautical miles. Let's get this stuff out of here. We'll reuse this for when you fire. As a matter of fact, let's do that like this. Okay. this case, it would be the. Hopefully, I spelled that right. I don't think I did. So this is the 710. Might not do this all the time. This is the MR 710. Okay. The detection range was 27. I'm rolling my increment D2D6. I get a 5.
What generation is it?
I need to look at that.
Going to be some sort of delay.
Reaction roll D6. 85. Come on, baby.
Yep, there it is.
And the normal one, and I need to go look at that. What is my combat system? Is 3rd generation semi-automatic. Oh wait, the countermeasures is electronic. Combat system is 3rd gen. So only a 3 for this Rennie. Interesting.
Does it? So one question: what's this data link queue or ownership ES queue? Are those things you have?
3 and 5 is another +3.
Meaning that if you had received the information over data link, you could actually add 1 to the die roll, which actually I probably need to, right? Because that's what you did, right?
I'm not sure.
Well, you got this information from Taylor. So I think
Well,
we
this-
need.
Well, this
Oh,
might
I thought it
count-
would be on your end if you had a data link. So interesting.
Yeah, I think that's your end. If you had a data link ship told you another one was incoming, you would get a +1.
Oh, you just get
Is that the
more
idea?
Yeah, I guess that's what that is. Yep. Yeah, you're right.
Is the idea like triangulating with more accuracy because you have multiple detections?
You're just getting a warning something's coming in. That's it.
Oof, this is rough.
Yeah, +6
Holy
total.
crap.
Wait, how do you get +6?
Well, there's a base of 3. You see that right there? Combat gen.
Oh shit! I didn't even see that.
Wow.
Okay.
This might not be good.
Are you sure that's a base? That
Yeah,
I
that's
thought.
the normal delay right there.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
For some reason, I thought that was sort of just showing averages. Okay.
3. I just rolled poorly, really, when it comes right down to it.
Well,
And then,
I mean,
so
not
6.
really.
That's horrible. It's all relative. It's great for you. So 3 plus 3. That's horrible.
Murphy.
So the increments are 5. Yeah, here we go. Now we need to do math. So what was it? 5, 6.
I mean, it sounds like it's gonna, or it looks like it's gonna hit before you can even react.
Well, I might be able to get point blank, but hold on. We'll see here in a second.
Yeah, point blank. I don't think it has a system delay if it's autonomous.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get my brain back into it.
Well, I mean, so what you're saying is like there are other, like the close-in weapon systems that'll react.
Yeah, the autonomous ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I
Usually
don't
you'll
know.
end up at least getting a point blank, but we'll see. We'll see
Okay.
how it goes. So the
Yeah, I just was
intercept
thinking
range. Let's
with
go
the,
back to the rules and read it. Make sure I'm doing it right.
Okay, buddy.
Reaction time. So we did the reaction time. Count that many increments along the missile's path and mark the spot with an engaged marker. Make sure. Okay, so okay. Speed. Somebody told me before the speed of the darn Harpoon. That was 561.
561.
Okay, so the increments are 30 seconds.
So you can actually just move. You can actually go ahead and.
Yeah.
Well, no. Can you just go ahead and bump it 6 turns?
Yes, but it was technically, yeah, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's gonna be point blank no matter what, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're only at 5. One more now will put you at over the target,
Over
won't
the
it?
target. Now, what does that mean?
So you have no
So
chance with SAMs?
No chance with SAMs, I think. That's what that basically means, right? Hold on.
No.
Very low targets, intercept range less than 15 miles. No, you have a point blank shot.
That's what I thought.
Where are you with that, Michael? Are you on close in
Right.
weapon systems then?
Let's go. We're down. He's punching the table. But let's go back here and go through it. So the intercept range is beyond it. Okay. So then the SAM range. See the intercept range. It obviously will be. It'll be short as hell if behind you. Okay. So or behind you if this intercept range. So then also you
You
have to
might not
multiply
get the
by.
missile one based on the minimum range of your missiles, though.
Yeah, you're right. If the missile speed is 500, the intercept range is 1.5 times the range. That's the F pole. We're not really. We'll determine that in a second. Bearing rate is not diverse. Punch the table. Okay. Use the smaller if either the same or the actual intercept range. Okay. So he is using a musket as empty. Let's use the musket.
So can you talk out what you're looking for?
I'm trying to find the SAM. I'm assuming it's this one. Yeah. Let's go look this up. Make sure it's. This is the SAM on that unit, right?
So if you can go back or slow it down a little bit. So shoot, I just lost the page. So the reaction time applies to what specifically? Like you can't react with what? Because I thought it was SAMs, but now you're looking up to see if SAMs can react.
It's surface-to-air missile. Yeah, right. So that's what I don't understand. I don't even understand how we can even punch it. So use the smaller.
Michael, any wisdom? I was in the impression as soon as your reaction time was so slow that I was going to be on top of you, the SAMs basically are like, just kind of cross that off and go to visually aimed SAMs. Is that what we're on? 812? Or air defense gunnery? 813?
I have a question. Is Impulse 6 past your ship?
Where's that?
All right, then I think, your SAMs can't fire at all. It's only your point blank, your guns can fire.
Where are you seeing this, Michael?
Well, if you look at that intercept table on third generation where he's at there.
So that's where I'm assuming yes, and I agree on that. But
the closest, by the time you get your delays done, you're already past your ship. So you've lost your point blank fire for your missile and your short range fire for your missile.
What page are you on? Is this 8.8 SAM intercept very low?
Yeah, that's where I was at. Hold on a second.
So you didn't react in time for your missiles.
Right. I think that's accurate. All right. So then, what does this have for its gun?
You got the 630. You got the yes.
Sorry. What page are you on for the is it SAM intercept table very low altitude 8.8?
That's it.
And so, what column are you on? Intercept range short, I assume.
Yeah, intercept range is short. Yes, very low targets. Intercept range is
third generation. I'm just having trouble reading this chart, I think. What's the S and the P?
That means how many shots you'd have in short range and point blank range.
If you had a shot, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I agree. I agree on everything we just did.
And so how do we...
intercept range was less than 0. It was a negative number, so he didn't get a shot with his missiles.
All right, so now we're up to...
and how do we determine what speed my Harpoon is? Is it low supersonic or...
Yeah, they're low supersonic. They're
subsonic. They're low supersonic. No, you're right.
Low supersonic.
Yeah.
Is there a chart that breaks that down?
Yes, it is.
In the book?
Up here.
Because that's the stuff I'm like, I don't know if I'm
That's
missing
right
stuff
or... 8.4. Oh wait, yeah,
It
this
says
is the other chart
transonic though.
right here. It's transonic. Yeah, it's transonic,
So
so it's actually the other chart.
Transon, I thought,
Yeah.
okay.
and so what's the generation it's asking? Are you third generation because that's your combat system?
Yes.
Okay, then it's S and P.
Yes.
So maybe you do get a shot.
No, no. Now watch. Look at the intercept range matters. That's an intercept range less than 15 nautical miles. But by the time his delay hits here, he's already at the ship below zero. If after his delay, he would have been like at 12 miles
If
or
I
8
had
miles
rolled,
or
if I
6.
had rolled like a 8 or better or 7 or better, let's go look at that. Like, so in other words, it was my really crappy roll here that did it. I mean, so in other words,
But that wasn't really like a
if I
crappy roll. I
had
mean,
if
just
I had
average.
gotten like a 6 or better, really, right? If I had gotten a 6 or better, I probably would have been able to at least get a point blank off, right? Like if it was one increment back,
Yeah.
I would have had at least one SAM interception.
Yep.
Yeah, but I
But
didn't.
because you did, yeah.
I
You need to train
was
your crew better.
smoking cigs on the side while I should have. Right.
But I mean, that's not really your role. That's just the nature of the combat system
Well, the
being
combat
older.
system is
Or
just older. Yeah, I would
I
have
mean,
thought that this is not a modified or an improved Sobremni. So
so maybe this is like the first little moment of realization that while the Soviets maybe have better detection, their combat systems aren't as advanced.
their ships were designed sooner, maybe, and they kept them for longer and kept them up. Yeah, but I don't think that we noted this as having a better combat system. Let's go look at what year we did it as. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's
did
still
it.
third delay.
Yeah, we're good. All right, so down here we did make a note that it is skimmer capable. The AK-63 30 mil. No penalty for engaging very low targets. I think technically I could fire with both of these, right? So that's a 0.4.
So you can't. So are we crossing off? I mean, basically, I'm trying to think about this sort of step by step. So radar guided surface to air missiles, you can't do anything with, correct? Because of the
Correct.
delay time and speed. Okay, so then we go to 812 and visually aimed SAMs. Is that something
No,
you
no,
can pursue?
guns are out. SAMs are out of the picture completely.
Okay,
Yeah.
completely.
So
Okay, so
now,
now we're moving to 8.1.3 air defense gunnery.
correct.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So let's see.
Just trying to figure out how to slow this down for my brain.
Let's see. So the target.
So is this then page
It's a
8,
very
9
small.
anti-air gun hit chance that we have to look in?
Correct.
And then is close in weapon systems a different chart, or is it the same chart, just different placement on the table based on whatever variables?
All. You mean a CIWS? I'm sorry. What?
Yeah,
I mean, it's included in the same
same chart. Okay.
modification charts. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you basically get two rolls on that chart for two different weapon systems, the air defense gunnery and then the CIWS. Okay, cool.
Hold on a second.
Sorry if I'm slowing this down. I'm
No,
just
no, no. Just I'm trying to think. There are, but I'm glad you just said that. Honestly, because it just reminded me that there's different modifiers here for this. Hold on.
Yeah, what's the A strength of your Sea-Wiz?
That one. The better of the two, you're asking, right? This one is 1.54. So let's go through.
You might want to check back. That's not the right rating. What is that if that comes from the annex, direct from data annex itself, that is the rating of the raw rating. It doesn't give you the modifiers for type of shells and stuff, which is in the main ship description. Go back up to the mounts, basically.
These are high explosive. I thought these.
Yeah, but no, go back up to the mounts. It tell you what it actually turns into by the time all its modifiers. Hang on. What ship is this?
The Sovereign.
Saveni?
Yeah.
So, Michael, are you saying that Peter filled out the PDF?
No, we filled it out per the data annex, but there's an easy mistake to make on it. If you look at the data line for the ship, it gives you the raw AA value, but they look at the actual strength of it with all the modifiers. It's in the actual ship description itself under the mount.
Hold on.
It should be like 5 or 4 dot something.
Well, is that it right there? No, that can't be it. Maybe it's listed down here. Where the heck is it? Blah.
This is the next level for me. Like,
Oh,
I
here it
haven't
is
really
right
looked
here.
in these
You're right.
books.
Ooh, man, dude, I had some visual. Oof, something happened there. 5.4. Wow. Oh, because you're saying that the mount adds that much more speed to it, if you will.
The
All
mount,
these other
there-
mount
if you-
modifiers. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that because
Yeah, there are other modifiers. I was trying to figure out what in the world, why the difference. I was going to make an email saying what's going on until I got their formulas and looked at the formulas they used and plugged them in and figured out how they got the 5.4.
Okay, so for this it would be a 5.4 here for the ATA.
But if you want to shoot it like a little over a 1, you're more than welcome to.
All right, so the target size, we are small. No, we are medium. Right?
So what are you working to calculate now? The AA strength?
Yeah, I'm trying to determine the PK, or the probability of kill, which would be right here.
Okay, so 5.4 is like a starting point for the AA strength?
That's the base. Yeah, that's the base strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just
no, it's okay. Just
next
yeah,
level.
just hold up a second. We'll go back to it. All right, so then we're transonic, so it's 0 for speed. 0 modifier for speed as transonic. And these are slightly different than this was a SAM resolution. This is AA.
And does the Harpoon have terminal maneuvers?
I was just going to look into that. Is that something that would be labeled on my ship?
It should be. I don't think it. It's one of these. Is it high diverting? It's a TI. It's a T. Excuse me. It's an SARA. I do not believe it has target maneuvers. We can look it up.
Would that be on the ship form, or would that
It'd be in the Harpoon. It could be on the ship form, whoever filled out the ship form. I don't know if I put it in there or not.
I was going to say, I thought you did. But,
Come on.
so would it be in the annex description of the Harpoon?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay.
But I'm having some problems here.
Generation 3, very low cruise, selectable pop-up, very small penetration. I didn't put terminal maneuvers on the ship form this time.
Come on. There we go. Now it's gone. I don't believe it does, but.
I hate how those pages are turned.
L and W3. Come on, baby.
And so those are like
Selectable
remarks.
pop-up. And W3. Number of waypoints to missiles. So it's a selectable pop-up. I don't think it does, right?
Yeah, I don't think it does either. So it's a non-maneuvering target, isn't it?
No, that's based on a hovering target.
Okay.
If what was coming in was a hovering target, I would get +2.
Okay.
So it's not a terminal maneuver. All right, so that's 0 for that.
What does high diving mean?
That's some missiles will raise to a high altitude and then come down on the deck.
Okay.
All right, so range band modifiers. I think we're still on the same, right? Target size, we are medium, so 0. Target altitude is very low.
Target size very small.
It is
I was
capable
gonna say
though.
target size should be very small, right?
It is.
Okay. I thought you just said medium, Peter. So.
You're right.
And then I assume I'm very low.
Yeah, but I don't take that. I'm sea skimmer capable with that weapon. Right here.
So that's what it means if gun is not.
Right here.
SS.
It is right here.
No
That-
penalty.
that
Oh,
particular-
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Spiffy.
Basically, it's the equivalent of the phalanx on yours. Let's see. So that's it, right?
So 5.4 minus 1 is 4.4.
Yep. Anybody disagree?
Yep, it looks right.
So you have a 54% chance.
All right.
And you
here.
get 2 shots, don't you?
Honestly,
I think they do.
I don't know if
Yeah.
they do. Do they?
I think they do. I'll look at the rules too, but I think they do.
I know the phalanx does
Would
for
that
the US.
would that be on the would that be on the ship form?
Well, only if only if the person who made it put it on there, but that was probably me in this case, which it's based on the I would assume it's based on the mount or the director. So I know like the CIWS system on the OH Perry or the Mark 15 phalanx. I know it can fire twice, but I don't know if universally that's true, right? Let's see if we can find
It'd
it.
be nice if they hyperlink the links, the rulebook, where you just click on links and go
Well,
to various sections.
Some
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
here's independent. They have their own built-in fire control. They get 2 shots. Some.
So they gotta say autonomous, huh?
Okay, here it is right here.
Yeah, but you're not on
Goalkeeper. I don't think I have that. Hold on.
You're not on close-in weapon systems yet, are you?
Yeah, but right here. Well, that's what this is. I'm firing my. It's only considered a CIWS if it's one of these systems: a phalanx system, a goalkeeper, a Kashtan.
Oh, okay.
Autonomous
I thought
CIWS
that was like. Okay.
right here is autonomous. We'll have it listed in the Annex C remarks column. Let's go look at that. Okay, here we go again. Russian Navy.
I always just call all Gatling gun Sea-Whiz, but I
I
guess
would
there's a
assume
difference,
so,
isn't there?
yeah, I would think so. Ugh. I'm reaching some sort of weird limitation of memory or something weird here.
There's a lot going on.
Well, me too, and my computer. Let's see, Russian Navy. Okay, here we go. Come on. And what was the name of the darn thing? A K630. Make sure that's the actual full. Okay.
It's gonna go through
100.
every.
That's another thing.
it's-
Probably easier just to scroll down without using
Yeah.
that because it's got so many.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm
So
just
is
gonna
this
make it wait for me.
So can I make a broader point? Like, is this a moment where it's worth being really tedious with how you fill out the ship form so you don't have to go back to the book for these kinds of reasons?
Yes, I'm learning stuff here I missed on my ship form that I really should put in the remarks. That kind of would help.
I'm always helpful
Okay.
to be the one to show you what not to do. So I'll
Well, I
accept
mean,
that.
I've never made a ship form, so I appreciate you all doing
I
it.
embrace that.
They're an art form, by the way. To
Half
make
the
those
fun is
stupid things.
stopping
sure,
and looking
yeah.
at things. 600. That's right here. It has an S. I'm assuming that means it's a sea skimmer capable, but I don't think it has a.
I don't see an A for it, so I guess it might not be
Yeah.
considered autonomous.
Yeah, you're right. I got
One shot.
one shot wonder. Gotta make it the.
It's a 54.
Yep.
Yep.
Rolled a 59.
Well, now it's time to see if Harpoons hit you.
So
I might
let's
not
go
have a
back
ship
up.
to hit with my Harpoons that I've already fired.
Okay. Now my brain's shot.
So what's this section 8.3 surface gunnery? How is that separate from this? Is surface gunnery like?
You can fire your other gun too, basically.
So
It's a lot less chance of hitting.
So it's not surface gunnery is not like the Sovremny firing to take down the Harpoon. That's
You're talking ship to ship surface gunnery. That's what that is.
Okay. Just trying to distinguish these different sections. Okay, so now we need to figure out if the Harpoon hits.
Yes, and I'm drawing an absolute blank. Please get me in the right direction here. I can't remember. Oh, here we go.
I'm looking also. There's a chart somewhere that gives you. You're there.
It just took me a while. I'm here. All right, so I am a medium. Okay, the ECM gen is
Anti-ship missile attack.
Second. Yeah.
Great. Second, J and D, and then Seeker gen I think is third.
Yeah, it's 1Cs, I believe.
Yeah, 1C. I believe it's a third, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, they're
Makes a big difference, though. You see that? Actually, it's kind of a nice, probably stopping point to show that if it was a second gen, it would only be 46%.
It's a generation 3. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you have an 83% chance per. And would you like to have the honors?
Can I? You can roll, but can I slow it down? So ECM Gen.
Mm-hmm. That's my electronic measure.
And it's Gen 2.
It's Gen 2, but it's a jamming and decoy. So that's what you do. You combine them. So it's second gen.
Okay.
And then it's either jamming, decoy, or jamming and decoy. I have
okay, and then decoy. And Seeker Gen is Seeker Gen the Harpoons Gen?
Yep.
Okay.
So as you can see, there would have been a considerable difference if it had been a second gen missile. See that?
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey,
Sorry, I came late.
That's all right. You missed all of us not finding anything and having to look up everything. So it's the usual for me, not the rules. The rules are good.
No problem.
All right, so 80%.
The difference in generation is there is large difference, and sometimes you may see that there are some unintuitive differences between hit chances, because I believe if you got newer Seeker generation missiles, they actually have sometimes higher chance of hitting the target with jamming.
Okay.
That's because the newer generation of missile seekers have home on jam technology, so they can home on jamming signals, but they usually can home on lower generation jamming signals, because
do most navies have that, or is that more prevalent?
No, this is basically it's not the Navy thing, it's the missile thing, the technology behind the missile seeker, and they usually they usually good at homing at earlier generation jammers, because newer generation jammers take into account this technology and try to counter it.
Everything is for something. Everything is done for a reason.
Basically, yes.
and countered for another reason. All right, so I'm going to roll for these 4. Okay, I'm going to do 4 rolls.
All
right, first missile.
So it's you said 80. One more thing, Peter. You said 83, but it says 80. Was there like a?
Yeah, it's 80.
It's 80%.
Okay, I didn't know if there was a 3% somewhere else that I missed.
No. I believe there are no modifiers to this roll. You just use table and nothing else.
Right, so it's
Okay.
the first missile hits. The second missile hits. I think this ship is going to be gone. The third missile hits. And the fourth missile hits tremendously with a roll of 1. Alright. I believe it's toast. Do we want to go through all that? Yes, let's just go through it.
Well, it's only taking 120 points of damage. What's your damage that thing can take?
2, 3, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think just going through it is a good
Yeah.
exercise too.
Alright. Let's see. First things first. You're a kid. What is the base damage of the harpoon? It is 40 plus that is for the critical action.
Now the question I have is: do we do each one separately for critical hits, or do we combine all the DPs and do?
Can I? Can I cut in? You combine all the damage taken during a turn. During basically, if damage is given is taken in fire phase, you just combine all the damage and make one critical hits roll at the end of the turn for all the damage that ship took.
Okay, I was just wondering.
No. All is. I believe the only exception is if torpedo hits which hit in the movement phase, then you combine all the damage from torpedoes in this phase and apply critical hits there. But anything that hit in fire phase is combined, and one critical hit roll is made at the end in the damage phase. There is a phase basically for the damage resolution.
Okay, I have a question first. What's your name so I don't?
Tom.
Tom.
Sorry.
Okay, so no worries. My name's Connor. So Tom, I mean, if you or anyone else knows, because you calculated at the end, does that increase my chances of having a critical hit? Because it's like I'm pummeling him rather than force.
Oh no! You never seen a critical hit system from this game?
No, I'm relatively new to the game.
Okay, then you will see how it works, because basically your chance of getting critical hits is critical hit. Peter just scroll through the critical hits.
I'm just trying to find where it actually says that that's combined. I mean, these are individual weapons hitting. I don't.
I believe you need to go to not here, but I think it is. No, wait. I will find it. I will find it.
Is it because?
Let me open my rules and I will find it for you. But it is somewhere here. Because
the only
they
reason
started.
I asked that is because each missile.
Oh, you have here plant fire phase. The effect of damage are applied simultaneously to both sides at the end of the phase. Damage apply.
That's just from the fire, and that's a combined. I understand.
Wait, I will find it for you as soon as I find where I misplaced my rules folder. Oh, okay, found it. And a good question, because I know it played.
Because I just don't remember seeing it. That's, and I would think that it would be independent because.
No, all of the damage is combined. This I'm certain, but I'm not sure. But it might be actually at the beginning of the rules, somewhere in the outline of play and turn. Although it should be somewhere in damage.
Right.
It should be somewhere in damage section.
I found it.
Oh?
It's kind of buried in 14.1.2. You have to read how it says. Last paragraph. It says in each phase that ship takes damage. Let's see. Hang on a minute. Let's see.
It doesn't say. Yeah, I can understand combining it for computational sake for some of these other.
It is remaining after that phase. Damage points are combined. This is a damage figure to use critical hits. So critical hits after all the damage points are.
Each missile does its own independent. Okay. Okay.
Can I
understand,
also-
I understand.
Yes,
I understand.
yes. In
but-
each phase that the ship takes damage,
So what
divide the damage
about?
points taken. Yes.
Okay, so then.
And the
there's,
example works like that, I believe. Because basically your chance of
Yeah, okay.
getting
That
critical
I understand
hit.
I understand it for that, and then
Yeah.
but each missile independently has the capability of doing a D6 divided by 3. Let me
Yeah,
go back.
those are extra. That's gonna each missile gets that roll
That's what I was
automatically.
asking. Thank you.
Yes,
That's
okay.
but the primary critical hits from this amount of damage you've taken after all damage has been applied.
Alright, now let's go back here. So it's a D6. Okay. So
Oh, I forgot. I forgot. This is a new rule, so I forgot
Alright,
that.
so here's
It was
D6.
not present in 4.1.
Okay, so that's 1 extra.
Because normally the amount of critical hits you can get is the chance is based on how large chunk of a ship was blown off during one turn, basically. Because you compare amount of damage that was taken to the amount of hit points that ship had at the beginning of the turn. And there is a ratio.
Here's another question I have. Would because it's a guided missile hitting it, I think you automatically get a fire. Does that mean for every missile you get a fire?
I believe so, yes.
I think you do, yeah. You have 6 fires.
Yeah,
Well,
I was
think
looking
it's
at
four
Uh,
free fire crits.
I can't. M Hitch. Some. I don't know if you're trying to share something. Yeah. He's unmuted and I can't hear.
I didn't. Oh, yeah, I don't know what's happening. What happened?
All right, so the way I computed that, so I rolled for each of those 4 and I ended up getting 6 extra critical hits total. But each of those, and let me go find that rule that says each one of them.
Yeah, for each of those you roll the amount of the severity of the fire.
I'm reading in 14.1.5 might be what you're talking about.
Actually, I had a question. This is Mark Hitchcock. I got a question. I think, Michael, I think you found it, the section of the rules to the damage. Please.
I don't quite understand the question.
Yeah, me too. Something.
It's just a lot of interference or noise.
I think what he was asking about was this one where you combine the damage and then you do the critical computation.
Yeah, that's where it's combined right there.
Yeah, but that's for the
normal
ones, right? Yeah. So then
for the criticals from damage,
I hope I got that right, Mike. So,
I forgot that there is this new rule. I'm still at the air-to-air warfare section. I didn't read all the rules yet.
All right, so let's add up all the. So we need to do this. So
yes.
So we did.
What's 14.1.5? Guided missiles not only inflict damage points, there's also an additional die roll for critical hits caused by the airframe, and they also inflict an automatic fire critical. Number of extra critical hits depends on the weapon's damage points.
Yeah, that's a 6 hits you roll plus the 4 fires.
Yes.
Oh, you already rolled for that? Okay.
I think it's built into the. Yeah, it's mentioned here. Yeah, it's built into the.
The sheet.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Looking for that sheet is what you're. All right. Sorry. Okay, so back. Let me get my brain going again. Hold on. All right, so that's what this represents, the 6 extra critical hits, but we also get 4 free fires just due to the fact that they're guided. I was trying to find that rule, and I know it exists, and I can't find that one sentence that says you get a free fire.
For which?
For being a guided missile, you get a free fire, basically.
That's in 14.1.5. That was what I was just reading. They also inflict an automatic fire critical hit.
Correct. Missile
0.1.5?
Right. Yeah,
14.1.5? Yeah.
Not only inflicts damage points, there's an additional die roll for critical consequence. And they also inflict an automatic fire critical. So that's what I depicted just in that little thing right there. Okay. So now we got to take the total, which was what, 120 with. So was 223 minus 120. Right? Is that right?
Are you trying to calculate percentage?
Yeah. Can you do that? I was gonna.
I took off.
If anybody's got a calculator, I can do it right now if you want.
I have a whole spreadsheet in Excel that calculates it for me.
I want to be.
I made whole spreadsheets in Excel for Command C where I have I track things like that.
1.16.
Then you're dead. if the ratio is above 1, then you're basically dead.
It's 1.16, so he has to roll on the 1 table and then roll on the 0.10 table.
No, it's not like it's not working like this. You roll
so
on the 1 table, and for each 0.2 above the 1,
0.2. Okay.
You get additional.
I got 9 more crits. I think it's.
You get additional critical for each 0.2 above the.
Okay. Cool.
1.
9, you said? Wow.
So you rolled a 4 on this critical hit ratio table, and 9 more
Yes,
crits.
and what was the ratio?
It was
1.16.
1.16. So you also get additional.
No, we don't hit the 0.2 over.
What? Sorry again.
No. You said it was additional 0.2, right? So we're shy.
Oh
of that
yeah,
0.2.
right. So sorry. Yes, you get nothing. Yeah, sure. My brain doesn't work either
15
on
crits
the decimal system.
plus 4 automatic fire crits.
Yeah, your ship is toast.
It's toast.
Yeah.
I wanted to say it's a Hulk at this point. It might be able to link.
How many damage points are left actually?
About 100, right? 120?
120-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, so it actually.
It's probably. I think it's tactically out of the battle. It's there.
Tactically, it will be out of the battle, yes, but
it's there.
if it still had 100 damage points, then
it's not sinking yet, but it probably will eventually.
Yeah, for situation like this, at least for Command C, I also had the situations where there are 15 critical hits. I just made script that roll all of them for me, and
so
there
now
is more than 5 fires.
I would like to make a general call to the Simplot designer to let me have fire markers that I can put on here. I want dead Hulks that I can put on here. Alright, so this is gone.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Alright, so that's gone. I am going to make him let's just make him like a neutral looking thing here. Meaning he's dead.
So we're going to skip the table looking, and you're just saying like, okay, he's functionally
it's so
neutralized.
much that
you can roll you can roll 15 or 20 times on this table and see if there are more than 5 fires, then and floodings, then I believe you won't be able to contain it.
And he's already got 4 fires already, so one's going to be a fire, so he's basically burning anyway.
Yeah, because I will tell you how in game rules it will looks like you probably lost most of the weapons and sensors, and if you gain 5 more fires, you will be at the severity level of overwhelming, where the crew either has very little chance of putting it out, or they need to abandon ship either way.
So all this because I was smoking on the ship deck.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. That's actually
you can't imagine how many ships were lost by something like that. at least during World War One.
Right,
oh my
so
god, there were a few.
Where we're at. So we're actually, the next tactical is 1527.
I think I need to write me a little application that rolls critical hits.
I did it already.
Oh, you
I
got one?
wrote one in JavaScript for Command-C.
Oh, see, I program for a living. Part of my job is programming computers. This wouldn't be hard.
Very good.
By all means,
I'm
share it when you make it.
yeah.
I will. That's something for me to do because this. I just realized this will be a very time consuming part. So if you just punch in the numbers, it rolls the criticals and tells you all what the severities and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
I
but half
did
the fun is
something
sitting
like
here
that
and-
for Command-C because yeah.
See, half the fun of this game is though when you only have like a handful of crits and you go through the process of the pain. It's kind of like the pain is fun. The pain.
Yeah, you usually don't see a salvo of 4 harpoons all hitting.
I don't know if I'd want to calculate for everything. To be honest.
I'm
No,
going to step
but
away for just a second. Be back. Be right back.
I use mine only if there are more than like 8 critical
Yeah.
hits.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And then you just boom. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's fun. It's only fun if it's like 4 to 5 or 6 crits, right?
Because
and then it gets.
no, this is because also I'm playing currently Command-C where we have we actually didn't have we had the similar ships where one salvo usually could take out one of the ships, or at least take half of the damage points and inflict 20 criticals at once. Because when similar ships in Command-C fight together, then it's not a very big problem because
Alright, so
they tend to inflict critical hits piecemeal.
the unfortunate result of that, though, is that your salvos go and hit a Hulk, right?
That's right.
Alright,
So
I would
wasted
just
them.
mark those off your.
Yeah, they got two. They got 2 harpoons left.
You got, as in first person would be an kill assist, right?
Okay, sorry.
Alright, so again, we're at about 1528.5. Technically, these missiles would already be moving. He already punched the table. So,
And it's not it's not even worth working on them.
Yep, exactly.
Well, so that was, again, like clueless me. Is there a chance that they could pick up the other ships? Are they like close enough?
And you know what? Now that you mention it, we never rolled for your damn being on target. Okay, so you were on target, all right? So if you want, they can roll to be on target and hope to miss, I guess.
Yeah. Roll. See if I'm on target. I got a fair solution. Probably a good solution, I think.
You don't know how many times I've actually heard it. That's ridiculous.
I mean, I thought that there was a chance. That's why I thought to ask.
In your case, you're good for both, right? Yeah.
And where is this in the rule book for?
So
for
I need to
this-
roll a 10 for you to not hit these, right? which I've done before, by the way. All right, so I'm going to do Nicholas's roll D10 roll. So I actually need to roll a 10 on this to miss. All right. And I did. Shit.
Okay.
All right. So that one did. Let me roll for the other one.
Peter, what chart is this?
Did not roll. Right, so it's in the fire control. Hold on a second.
So this is a step we accidentally skipped for my harpoons?
Correct.
Okay.
But this is new rule, and
It's right here.
well, the whole new section of.
All right.
rules.
Weapons.
So he had a good resolution. So you would have had a 40% chance of hitting a different ship, even.
It's
originally.
good they added it though, because in the preview version, even launching the ball attacks, the attacks bearing only launches had much too higher chance to hit the players. If would, they just could launch a giant salvo blindly in the general direction of ships, and this usually worked. Not so much in real life, apparently.
So roll a 1, 2, or 3, please. Now let's see. Yeah. 1, 2, or 3. Now let's see. To the right of your weapon course. I want you to go to the left. Go to 4, 5, 6, please.
So, and I got to roll
So
for
do you
each
roll?
individually.
You
or
roll one.
salvo.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I think it's probably the salvo.
It's
Because
it says salvo.
right here. All right, so I am rolling it. Hold on. Let's see what I get. I got a 4.
So it veers to my left.
It
So
does hit it.
how far?
I think it would be within the seeker range no matter what, right? It's a 30% seeker range, I think.
Yeah, right now if you roll so that the position is correct, then you are in seeker range. I
The
believe.
magnitude of the course of deviation is made is another roll of d6 times 5. Hold on, here comes my d6. And then what is the seeker arc? I got a 5, so he might not. He might actually hit the other one. So 5 times 5, 25. So he was coming here at a 20. I think it's a 20 nautical mile it would activate, which is about... Yeah, let's go ahead and put him on there. Oh bugger! Now we might have to actually go back and see. This is what the one thing about Simplot I do wish you could do. I wish you could do multiple undo turns. You can only do one, because it would be beneficial to go all the way back and then put your missile and then make it come forward. We might have to do a little bit of a shenanigans here.
Maybe they will add it later.
What I suggest is that we start from this point. It's not fully accurate, but I start from this point and we compute it.
Yeah, let's try. Let's do it. I mean,
okay
let's just see what happens.
This is what you gotta hand wave some stuff here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that then.
So you basically have to plot out the chance that the off course nature of these is going to go on course to another ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
And okay. I have a feeling it will.
And I think it will. If it went right, it would have missed everything.
And how close does it have to get before it picks up the target?
Let me ask you this, though. Did it have to originally be a valid target, though? Because it wasn't, these aren't...
Yes, it was a valid target. I mean, that was my target.
You didn't detect these, though.
Oh, no, I don't think they have to be valid target. I mean, it just sees them. If a neutral shipping would have been there, it would go after a neutral ship.
What do you exactly mean by valid target?
Something that
target...
Something that was originally on its radar, or at least computed
and
detected?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, because missile activates its own radar, and it can pick up anything that is in its cone.
Okay, so then... What was it again? 5,
all
6, 1?
All missiles, when they leave tubes, are basically autonomous. And
So the original bearing was 1646 true, so we need to subtract... We need to... we were off by 25, right? So that would take it down. God bless my math. 43. Correct?
What are you looking to do? You're just knocking 20 whatever
25
off?
25 off this.
25 would be 139.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. I think it's going to hit. Well, it won't do that until it gets here, though. So
against small targets, it's just 20-mile seeker range. Yeah, third generation.
All right, so let's not do that. Let's get it towards it, and then once we get 20, then we'll do it. Then we'll do the deviation. Sorry, that's my mistake. All right, so this needs to go to 164.
So do you basically need to give it a little radar detection band and see as it passes that area whether it picks up something? Is that the idea? And the radar detection band is 20? Okay, cool.
It's on it's a chart on the rulebook. Let's see, section 747, page 173, actually.
All right. And then I need to modify it. Blue. Make sure I have the right. Is that right? 561 was the speed of the Harpoon. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, come on. Why is it not? Oh, because I didn't put it. There we go. Okay, I think we're good. And then we're gonna go increments until we get the secret range, right? Everybody go.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Boom. Boom. One more. Alright, now we're going to divert.
Now it activates, yeah.
And then we will divert. Let's see, navigation.
This is so interesting. So Tom, you play command at sea more than Harpoon? Or a little above?
Currently, I'm playing more Command at C for some reason. I don't remember how it started, but
So I think,
yeah.
So I guess you're going to see
so I
it.
think
then.
technically this would travel a little closer, and it would do this, right? Because it's actually 21.3 away from this one right here. So
Yeah.
so let's think about that though. If it was here, it breached the 20 marker, and it does not have a valid target within its seeker range, right? Is that not right?
Yeah, there is a valid target, the one right in front of it. If it misses its normal target, they specifically exclude the original target, in case you happen to run across it again.
Okay, so it just
It's
this
probably
is where it
a little abstracted in this regard.
It can lock onto either or of those things. But the closest one is probably the one it's going to hit.
Actually, it might be not the case. There is a whole section explaining that if there are few different targets in its acquisition cone, then you roll which one can be which one will be acquired.
Outside, but it would have to be in this. Here, watch. Let me put something here. Watch this. Let's do this.
Why aren't you showing the Harpoons detection band? Because it looks like it's still outside of the range of both of the active.
That's what I'm saying. Watch.
But next turn, it will be based on its heading, right?
Correct. That's why I was saying it has to travel further. But this is where it went awry, though. So
you're right. It would have to travel one more further to get it.
Step. So and then it's going to pick up both of those, I think. Maybe that.
Yes, and when it pick up a few of them, you roll which one will be picked, and the chance depends on the signature of the target. Not
where is that,
distance.
Tom? What chart is that?
Oh, I believe this is not. This is actually not a chart for. There is no chart for that. There is just a rule.
Well, so in 7.4.7, there's a little chart that says seeker random lock-on chance.
Yes, this is the one.
It basically says pick the larger target if they have that's it.
No, wait.
No, hang on a minute. Let's see.
This wasn't this. Can you give me again the number?
It's on page 7.3, left-hand column, near on the left column near the bottom. Seeker lock-on chance.
So my only quandary at this point is the fact that it was flying in this direction. It was programmed to activate at the 20 nautical mile mark.
Yeah.
But should I just have adjusted the degrees at this point?
No, I think when it.
Point,
I think you're doing it right. I think as soon as it enters that 20-mile band,
it activates.
It changes course.
But at that point, it didn't have any other target in its range. Back here, it did not have these in its range.
Oh, so you're saying step it back and stay on the previous course one more step before it picks up?
I would think that it would only pick up a valid target at this point within 20 nautical miles of itself.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
It says if there are no targets in its field of view, the missile will continue to fly on its present course, attacking the first thing it finds or until it runs out of fuel.
So at that point, that's why we did it like that, and then it found it.
So do you have to go back a step and then keep it on course one more step before changing to 139.6?
That's what I did. That's what I had done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure we did it right. So I think this is right.
First thing it found is that guy in the center.
I think so. All right. So then now we're at.
Is the signature or the seeker random lock-on chance? Is that a percentile?
Here's another thing, though.
Kind of.
This doesn't.
Meaning it's only a 5. Is it only a 5% chance he's going to lock on?
No.
No.
I have to read that. It's basically.
Basically take the example. This is only the seeker random lock-on chance is basically to what it will lock on if it has more than one target in its seeker cone. So let's say there
I
is
see.
a large target and small target in its seeker cone. Then you roll, and if you roll lower than 15, then it lock on the large target, and if you roll between 16 and 20, it lock on the small target. But it
Well, I guess it
always
doesn't matter because it's not going to be random because it's going to lock onto that center one, right?
So here's the thing, though. This
Here?
guy.
Depends on the it depends on the arc of the seeker.
Harpoon. I think it's a 30.
Well,
I think it's a 30
but again,
degree arc.
it's that last sentence though. If there that Michael just read, the missile will continue to fly on its present course, attacking the first thing it finds. So the first thing it found is that center ship.
Hold on. No, not if there's multiple. Not if there's multiple viable. I'll show you.
Yes, yeah, Peter.
I don't know. It just says the first thing it finds. That's to me seems pretty clear.
Hold on. That's relatively 0, right? But actually, it's 15 minus.
I'm also curious if it'll even pick up that eastern ship at the next step.
That's what I'm thinking. It might possibly do.
I think it's just out of the range of that eastern ship.
Yeah, it'll be close.
Hold on. This is not right. I didn't do it for the right range. You said it was the range is 20, right?
And it's a 45 degree arc.
And that needs to be adjusted a little bit more, right? Is that right?
Oh, the arc's 45 also.
Oh, it's a 45 degree arc.
Yeah, I just read that in the rules.
I think it's still only going to see that. You see that? Wow. Somebody should redesign that missile. That seems
Yeah,
very
it missed.
dangerous.
The Far Eastern one got missed.
So that's going to need to be what? Probably about. Let's see what that looks like.
If you want to, I need to check because we could add some home rules. Because I believe at least if most simulations I played are correct, then you can choose between wide and narrow arc.
Right, I would hope so. I would darn hope so. As a captain, I would never fire one of these if that was. I'd be afraid to take out the Norwegian fishermen over here. All right. So this is out of range. It's not a valid target at that point. And
it's out of range and it's just on the edge of the arc. So yeah it's one target.
Yeah, but if the arc were larger, then it could acquire other targets, and then you need to roll this lock on.
Okay, so here's the fun part of this.
Chance.
This guy did not have an air search radar on. Okay, for this turn. Now, would he not have turned it on if he saw his friend blow up? Right.
That is the question. There are two questions. First, did this artist second salvo of harpoons attacking him in the same turn, or is there a turn difference between blowing up?
Hold on.
It's the turn after.
This is the turn after.
Here I can
this
update
is turn after.
It's a turn after, so.
Then in detection phase, of the previous turn, they would see.
I would think turn it on, right?
At least if they are in the visual distance, they would see a large fireball.
Yes.
Then it's question to the captain or whoever is controlling the ship because they have time to.
My answer to that is
fire up their radars.
My answer to that is da. Yeah, right.
Then,
I think both of these are. So then, the other thing to say is that you would have passive air search pings here. By the way, so you do know that there are two other surface units here. Okay. All right, so let's go back. Where would that have been detected? Let's look at the 3D of the Karak 1, right?
Hey Tom, can you see the spreadsheet of our plotting?
Where? Oh,
there's a link in the chat if you want to follow the.
Oh, I went on chat, so yeah, I will follow you. I will open it. I kinda
Okay.
get here.
So
Might help.
his range, his detection range, 3D, is 21 nautical miles. So let's go take a look at that. I think we're well within that.
So
So
basically,
he
we're
actually-
sort of retroactively saying you probably picked it up because you probably activated your.
So I'm going to say, and people can correct me if they feel otherwise, but I think I have. Let's see what the range is on that. I think
That's one delay has already been
increment,
accounted
I
for
think
since
one
we've already
increment.
moved that missile.
Yes. So he would have detected it right about here.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody agrees to that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that eats at
So-
least one of the detection ones.
That's one delay gone, yeah.
All right. So just keep that in mind, please, because I'm going to forget it.
See if you're smoking again.
Where is the plot? The link to the plot? On which channel?
I don't know. I guess. Do you have access to Game 3 Sat Harps channel?
He might not.
No, I don't. But
Here, I'll.
okay,
I guess I could just PM you the.
I'll send me. You
Hold on
can.
a second, I get you in there.
My account.
I'll send you the link for now.
Okay. Oh, no problem. Peter added me
Oh, okay.
to the list. I have it.
Now you have way too much power. Okay. Alright, so you should be in there now. Okay, now let's talk. Let's think here. I still think I'm going to have problems, very similar problems, right? So let's go back to the rules, and let's go back and slow ourselves down.
I won't help you much here either because I only read them once and these are new rules. So for the detection, I think they are good
I think
because
they're good.
they are good because I played some 4.1 Harpoon with the old rules. Some rules were they created very unrealistic results sometimes,
Okay, so
especially for very fast missiles.
detection
And
was 21, I think, but we already
Yeah,
said
it was
that.
21.
Alright, so we're 21, blah, 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 move it until it reaches detection. We're kind of beyond that. Then we're going to detect 2d6. Alright, here we go. Let me see if I'm smoking something today. Come on. Russian herb. Oh, much better. Rolled a 9 at least. I think that's going to be pretty good.
What generation are you?
Good question. 3rd gen semi-auto
Okay.
combat system.
Yep.
So you're at 3, if I'm reading it right.
3 plus, correct, 3 this time. We already ate one of them, right?
And one's already eaten, so we got 2 forward to go.
Ready? 1.
What's the?
2.
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Never mind.
Not too bad. Okay, so then what range is this? I think that's out. That is a short range, right? So that's that we're going to look at the
7.8,
So
yeah.
now we're going to punch the table, right? Everybody agrees?
Yep, I think.
And we are very low. And we are less than 15. We are transonic.
You get it 1 short and 1 point blank with that missile.
Yes, 1 short, 1 point blank. What has he got? Oh, it's the OSA.
we only have OSA.
I don't know why we have multiple. I think he only has the M. It's the Supreme versus Surface. Why do we have multiple on here?
You might have.
The Dornier. Let's go look that up. Sorry. The difference could be between 3.5 or 2.5. Let's see. First of all, range. Yep, that's going to be a problem too, right? We need to figure out, does he have the M or the MA? So,
Can you go to the? Was this already spreadsheet or?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Or did you made it yourself? I mean, where
I don't
where
remember
did
who
both
wrote
of this
this.
missile came from?
I think this was one of my players from my previous game.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I think they just wrote out what it could be. So let's go look at what it is.
Okay, so
Let's go look at that. This is half
let's
the fun.
go look at that in the forms. I will look at that on Wikipedia because there might be the difference might be that the MA is some upgrade that was introduced at some point,
Right here,
and
right here.
then it would depend.
See
Oh yeah,
this right here? So it does have the MA. See that right there?
yeah,
Okay, so it does
right.
have the MA.
Good thing.
Alright. Well, actually, no, right? Because it's got a better range, but the ATA on it is not as good, right? Now, do
Yeah,
we also need to, in this case, does that also affect?
But you
but
have
it's
two
fast.
directors though, which helps.
Yeah,
So I can fire up to 4
Yep,
missiles. That's
4
small.
missiles. How many you got?
That's a good question too.
how many
20.
you can shoot in one turn? How many rails you got? This
Two
is also the
directors, 2
question.
shots each, so he's got four shots.
Yes, but it also depends if he has 2 launchers that have 2 rails. Because I'm talking from experience of Soviet missile systems that the rate of fire might not be very good.
I don't see. I haven't seen anything that says you can't fire
Oh,
the
there's a
two.
there's a director table. That's
Okay, I
Where's that?
show me because these are missiles, but targets one. Can you go
Want to go to
higher
the annex of
on the
this?
spread?
Do we want to go look at the annex for this? Maybe it explains it. OSA. Let's look that up.
Yeah,
See if
Michael,
there's any
where is that director table?
I'm looking. Hang on.
Okay, thank you.
No, okay, you will be able to shoot enough of them, I believe. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you need to have 2 rails for it because I know the.
I need to check the rate of fire. No, because still all weapons has some rate of fire.
6.2. No, they changed the rate of fire in this new Harpoon to based on your
Oh, it's
directors.
already okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's already.
And you get 2 per director, if I recall, right?
You get 2 missiles per director, 1 channel on each director. So yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So basically, 1 director, one target with 2 missiles.
And 2 fires of it, right? No.
You get 1 at short range and 1 at point blank range.
Okay. Let's go back through it. Here.
Michael, do you mind talking through this? So, are you looking at the SAM Salvo summary chart?
Yes, he's got a 3rd generation combat system.
Okay.
And you look at the type of missile, type of radar, command, SARH. Well, they all have directors per channels per director. He's got 2 directors, okay? And each missile, how many missiles can you fire on hold on each channel?
Okay, so he has 2 different he's got maybe the command.
He's got 2 different.
You've
got 2 different directing radars on this thing.
Okay, that was the missing link for my understanding. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
But where is it said that rate of fire is included in the tables? I believe rate of fire for launchers was the number of rails times the number of mounts, and this was the number of missiles you can fire in.
Yeah, that's what they changed it to. Instead of putting a rate of fire in every missile system, if it's different, you'll see it in the annexes somewhere saying it's different.
Okay, I didn't get there. Apparently.
And when considering it's a 30-second turn, they can fire. He can fire 4 missiles.
Because it was for 30 seconds.
So 2 fires of. I think it's 2 fires of 2 missiles, right? Within short.
Yeah. Yep. Each director. Yep.
All right. So we are.
But you have to increment. Go to the next. Yeah. You're right.
So
Sorry.
We are transonic, so 0. Target size. Small.
You're okay.
Here's target size. Oh, here we go. Very small, -1. Okay, combat system gen, or CS gen, is I think 4th. But let's check that.
I think you are 4.
No, the countermeasure.
Where did I see a 4 on that thing? Okay. Disregard.
Well, this is a different sheet or ship
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So you might have been thinking of the Sovereignty.
No, it's the combat system modifier. So the combat system modifier. I am a 3rd gen semi-automatic here. 3rd missile target, aircraft target, missile target. So 0. Combat system modifier. Wait a minute. Why is that?
I don't understand. Are you? Did we miss? I thought I just noticed you looking on the anti-air gun hit chance chart, but aren't we on your missile defense first?
Right here.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, I lost myself here. So we are closing 0. Very small. So it's 0 for the CS. No modifier here, I don't believe. We determined that before, right? Target speed is transonic 0, I believe.
No, about me playing, I play Command at Sea recently more because I started with it online because I thought it is easier from Harpoon for starters and easier to handle. Now I stick with it for some reason.
And is Command at Sea, that's the World War II version?
Yes.
Okay.
It's easier because you don't have all the sensors or the different weapons. You just have guns, torpedoes. And I thought it will be easier for now because I referee games and they also take a lot of time. But I was interested because there is the add-on or the expansion called Shattered Armada, which is about Spanish Civil War entirely, and I thought I would just go one by one with all the scenarios from it.
Interesting.
There are a few scenarios later that need more players, so I might put some info here.
Well, we can get more people here. We can do those here too, because this Discord is for all the trilogy stuff.
Yeah, I know. But before I got this Discord channel, I created my own Facebook group. Before even Discord was a thing, I believe.
Missile Seeker the Missile Seeker gen was 3. Right? And then I'm a jam and decoy.
So here's another question, and Michael, maybe you can answer this while Peter's calculating. Because he fires 4 missiles, does he do? Is it two missile packs on the?
He has his choice. He can fire two directors. He can fire 2 different targets. He can salvo 1 missile at each target, or he can fire 2 missiles at each target. It's his choice.
Okay, so he breaks it down between the 1 choice or the 2.
Yeah, because in the table you have 1 missile or 2 missile column.
Yeah. Okay, I just didn't know why there wasn't a 4 missile column.
So just correct me if I'm wrong. So the Seeker is 3.
Why there is a 4 missile column in the rules?
No, you do it one at a time. You do
or 2 apparently.
Right here, you do 2. Each director can fire the 2 missiles, and that's why you only have.
Are there no 4 missile per director systems?
Aegis.
I
believe Aegis is capable of that, and this is the max.
Okay.
What he can do is he can put both directors on the same target and get total 4 missiles off if he wanted.
Yes, because the director is basically a radar
how
is.
How do the rules handle that as far as probably?
It'd be 2 rolls. It'd be 2 rolls.
That's what
I'm probably. Previously, I will tell you. Previously, there were no multiple missile columns. You just roll for every one of them.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm at -1 plus 2.5, so we're at 1.5 minus 2 is neg 0.5. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was the computed ATA.
It seems
That's okay.
correct.
Negative 0.5, okay. What's your chance to hit?
Probably not good.
Negative 0.5 is.
I-
Yeah, it depends on how you.
4%.
44%
direct
chance of stopping.
So this is the
2
first.
minutes.
This is
So are you doing 2 and 2?
Yeah, I'm doing
No,
two,
no,
two.
he fires. Yeah, he fires 2 and 2 right now. Then next impulse, we can do it again at point blank range.
Okay, so got one of them, and then this is the second 2-pack.
Thank you.
Got the other one. I rolled 42 on that. All right, so they're gone.
Okay.
Good try. And I could have rolled very poorly. Trust me.
Well, but even that forced you to use your systems and launch a couple missiles is given that they weren't even a target.
4, so I only have 16 left. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. This
So he
is
forced you to use your resources at least.
correct. Matter of fact, let's correct this and inch ourselves for 1169.
Tank.
Okay, we are at 1533, and then let's see how that. Ends up helping or not. So these guys went active. So you do have ES detection in the next turn. Well, that turn of 2 units here. So you can pretty much figure out what type of unit roughly based on the AS radar. Excuse me, the 3D radar that it used.
What kind of missiles those things got offhand?
These are OSA MAs.
Yeah. I mean, can you pull the sheet? I was just curious.
OSA is. I'm not sure.
It can be.
It
It's
is
both anti-surface and.
Yeah, but anti-surface mode is like, how would I say it?
So you really don't.
Afterthought?
You don't have a long-range missile on those things, do you?
Nope. Only point.
Ha!
These are ASW frigates.
Yeah.
These are supposed. There's a few of these next to the carrier group to make sure that subs don't come by, but they have.
Yeah.
So we already took out the biggest threat, basically.
Yeah.
Well,
I really
the only threat right now,
really-
because
Yes, you're.
he
Correct.
can't hurt us.
Yeah.
Because I have a zillion missiles at a range of 25, my SM-1s.
I'm gonna go
that
ahead
can
and
pound him at
probably
25
say
miles.
you've won the scenario at this point. Roughly,
Yeah.
right? Tactically or whatever. I think we can probably.
Yeah, because I mean, I have a bunch of missiles. I'm just going to close and stay at like 20 miles out and just hit them with everything.
That's why double-blinded games are fun. When you don't know that.
Right. Exactly. So right now you see ES detections there, right? So.
But this
I-
is a learning game, so this is all
Yeah.
Yeah,
learning
no,
stuff.
sure. But I like to refer the command at sea. I had very interesting scenario lately where we played total double blind with detection and classification of targets. And it was very interesting because first thing both sides did, there were 2 destroyers, and luckily both of the guys not only seen each other first turn, they classified each other first turn, which was very little chance of that, but they classified it themselves, and they had no communication. They didn't know what I'm sending the other guy. Both of them, first thing they did is totally try to ignore each other. They just both maneuver out of their way and were maneuvering outside their range and trying to just pretend they don't see each
Yeah, I
other.
would think that like the tension of not knowing what's still out there is definitely a big part
Yes.
of I think the tension of naval warfare.
Yes, this is especially in today's times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Connor, we would have did something different if this had been a full-blown play scenario, not training. I would have I think we would have waited, kept our distance as far best we could until we got our helicopters ready, because they have a lot longer range radar.
This is what you see.
Get those launched is to find them. We'll stay silent until we did that.
So here's the thing: you do know it's an MR310A. So let's do that search real quick.
Yeah, the only problem is I don't have a helicopter anymore.
Yeah, but we did.
Now's the problem. You know what radar it is, but the question is what platforms use it.
That's
because it might.
You can
narrow it down, right?
Yeah, but you also assume that he didn't have anything long range because he's not firing at it like.
So you don't know if it's a Project 1134, Project BFET. You don't know if it's any of these, right? So it's not very specific. Like if it was a monolith, if it was a monolith T, you probably would know that it was something probably dangerous.
Yeah.
So you have two. You have no idea what these are, but all three of you would detect this passively.
Yeah, and with the longer range harpoons using the helicopter to keep the distance apart, we would have had it. Of course, the Soviets could do the same thing with their choppers.
Yep.
So do we want to call it then, I assume?
I just want to call it it's probably just a good stopping point. I kind of wanted to stop by noon anyway, but I'm more than willing to extend it. But what I might do is I might extend the scenario to include other units showing up for both sides and roll for it and so forth.
Yeah, because the units that are left can't harm us, Connor. So.
Yeah. So the only thing that maybe we need to think about, or Peter, you need to figure out is like how much time passes before other units show up, so that I can figure out the kids sort of managing the fires.
Right.
And,
so the double-blinded, non-blinded thing here, though, you don't know what these are. So you have two threats here. So what I would do is I'm going to try to compute. I had a larger map. I'm going to look back at it. I had a larger map of what other units were in this peripheral area. So I'll determine what could be in, but then what I'll do is determine how much closer these might get, or they might bug out, or they might course change towards another group, because they realize what you're contemplating here, right? So
do we want to try to play again in 2 weeks, or now you're thinking maybe 3, or?
Let me look at the.
And do Tom and Mark want to jump in and control something, or?
I can probably do. I can't do next weekend because it's my anniversary.
Hey, this is Mark. I'm not sure if you
next week is bad.
Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Mark.
Mark, I'm sorry.
Hey, sorry guys, I've got bad comms today, unfortunately. I would love to be to participate in the next online game, especially the learning version. Very valuable for me, so I appreciate that. So if you want to add me to the next one you're playing, that'd be great.
I'll tell you what, I might move Tom.
Do Saturday mornings generally work for you, Mark?
Yeah, Saturday morning is actually the best. Peter, you hosted a game that we were trying to play during the week, and I just had a really hard time keeping up with that just due to work activities, etc.
Yeah,
so
I had the same problem.
Saturday mornings are really good for me.
I feel like these real-time sessions, you just get so much more done. Even though it's kind of slow going to reading through it, I kind of enjoy reading through it and making.
Well, it builds the familiarity with how to navigate the rule book. I mean, that's huge.
But I have something already planned on the 7th, so it'll probably end up.
You know what, guys? If I learn Simplot by the next week, maybe I could go for some training scenario if I go through the rules and learn Simplot, or we can do some very simple commanded C scenario, because the movement and the turn, like the turn type rules are the same for commanded C and Harpoon, and damage rules are basically, and the fire and flooding rules are the same exactly. So we can also.
Yeah, I don't have command at C, and I don't have the interest in. I'm already trying to tackle Harpoon and advanced squad leader.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean, I appreciate the offer.
We can do that at some point, but
trying to stay focused, I guess.
Okay, then
Alright.
I need to go through the new rules in Harpoon. But we
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
try
well,
something
if you can
new.
join us on Saturdays, Tom, I mean, then
Yeah,
we all...
I think I shouldn't have any problems with joining you on
Peter, I do
Saturday.
have one suggestion for you. One suggestion might make it easier for all of it for you.
Wait, go ahead.
Don't share your screen. That way you don't have to worry about hiding and unhiding units. You just tell each player, you have a unit, you see something here at this bearing, and each player can have their own sim plot or however they want to track where that unit's at and see it. That way you don't have to. That way you don't
Well, we
have to
can
show.
try it, but
That would
I'm
be
not sure
difficult
how
to
much.
be accurate.
Yeah.
Well, I would always be the accurate source, of course. But,
Yes, you would have one,
I mean,
but
you
you
can take a
don't.
piece
You
of
wouldn't have
paper
to
and
keep.
do it.
You wouldn't have to keep turning units on and off and everything else, and have a possibility of us seeing the entire map. You just tell us what we each player knows, and it's up to each player to figure out how they want to track it.
Interesting.
Yeah. It
Right.
adds additional chaos, definitely. Because
But that's maybe more simulationist, I guess.
That would be more.
Yes, I guess,
would
yes.
probably do that more when everybody was fully up to speed. I mean, just the fact that we're trying to do this more of as instructional, as well as taping
True.
it. Like if it maybe after.
The new year, that's our goal.
That's probably about right. Yes, absolutely. In which
This
case,
game has a
Hey, Peter, are you recording these sessions for playback later on like YouTube or something as well?
yeah, it's being recorded right now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. 'Cause I've been using those sessions just on my own during the week to kind of get more familiar with the rules as well. So it's really valuable to have.
That's
the
another
playback
reason
available.
why. That's another reason why I probably wouldn't want to hide it unless we were not taping it and we were just doing it for realsy.
Yeah.
For realsy, I guess would be the way.
It's the
Which
naval
I'm
term.
perfectly willing to do, of course. But yeah, so maybe like 2 or 3 more sessions like this. But then I would absolutely try that. That's fine. In which case you can just use graph paper or rock paper scissors or Simplot if you want, whatever you want to figure out.
Okay.
And I would just tell you what you saw at what bearing, and that's it.
Okay, one more question. Do you guys are you interested in some particular portion of Harpoon learning? I mean, the portion of the rules, or just the whole system?
Well, right now, that's what I'm going to start doing. I'll start introducing area units, and I'll start introducing subsurface units over time. Maybe not this next time. I might keep it still surface, but eventually I might just throw in, even if I was to just be running it myself and showing people what's happening, I might throw in some subsurface and just kind of run it myself.
Okay, because I don't know, Peter, if you've seen scenarios I sent to you, because I sent to you scenarios
High
from
tide.
the original 4.1
I have.
rule book.
I also have a couple other things I eventually want to get into. Is the South Atlantic 2 scenario set is
Oh,
well done.
yeah, I have that too. They are great.
I own that.
But there are good introductory scenarios in the 4.1 rulebook, which are focused on each type of
Okay.
combat.
Yeah, I'll talk to you offline about that. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so let me end the. So it was good. It's a good run.
Yeah.
And let me end the stream. Have a good one.
So tentatively 2 Saturdays from now?
Hold on a second.